Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
What's up, everybody? This is today's best music for Magic 89.9. My name is Ashley, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys because we have a very special interview for you guys today. If you have heard of this person, and I'm sure you have because he's been everywhere in the last year or so, his latest single has been playing nonstop on Magic 89.9, and his breakout single, If You Were Anywhere on the Internet last year, I'm sure you heard it nonstop. Please welcome to the call the incredible and only 20 years old Mr. Powell Aguirre, better known to everybody as Surf Mesa. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, that was a great intro. I'm feeling good. How are you?
Well, thank you so much. I'm doing great. And, before we do get into your music, which I'm very excited to hear about, that is kind of what I wanted to ask you about. You've had an incredible year, but I want to ask, how's it been for you? Because on the one hand, it's all of this success and acclaim, and on the other, it was the crazy year that 2020 was. So how's it been, and how are you feeling now coming into almost 3 months into 2021?
2021, I've been excited. Of course, it's just been like all gas with creating what's next for me. Of course, following the success of baaaaby, there's a lot more of what I want to show that I'm capable of, and really building out this story that I'm excited to tell everyone. But I've been doing okay. I think like digesting everything has been easier, given that quarantine is still in place here in the United States. Without quarantine, we would be on the road touring, and I think kind of a blessing in disguise about the quarantine is that I'm writing more and more music every day, and just working really hard again about what's next to come. But other than that, I think I've been doing all right.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you've found your creative side more and more in this kind of difficult time I guess we've all been going through, and I'm glad you've gotten a lot of time to work on your music and find more time to do that. And I'm also glad to hear that you do have plans of hopefully touring when everything is safe, so we'd love to see you on the road. So as I said earlier, your incredible single with Madison Beer called Carried Away has been playing nonstop on our radio station. Can you tell us a little bit about that song? Give us some background. How did that collaboration kind of come about?
Sure. Well, thank you for playing it. I didn't know that it was on any radio stations, honestly. But yeah, that song came to my attention early 2020. It was actually written by another artist, Alina Baraz, if you know her.
Oh yeah.
Totally cool. Yeah, I've always been such a huge fan of her. Obsessed with her voice, and just everything that she puts out is really great. So I thought it was going to be a collaboration with Alina Baraz and myself. And then I guess fast forward a few months, it was December, late 2020, where I decided to roll out that single next, after Somewhere with Gus Dapperton. But I started to produce that one around December in my room with my parents. Like, this was in Seattle, so this was like in my childhood room, which was a weird full circle moment with me because it's like where I was producing before I moved down to California. But I finished that song, and then Alina Baraz kind of last second couldn't be on the song anymore, and so it was kind of like a panic moment of who was going to be on the track, and it wasn't a question that Madison Beer would have sounded just amazing on it. And yeah, I'm a fan of her music. We have mutual friends, and we reached out. She loved the song, and was down, and I'm super grateful for that. And then shortly after, she just released her new album called Life Support. But yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's cool. I like that what you said about, working in your childhood home and how you'd kind of come full circle. And I think that's so inspiring for a lot of young people to hear now, especially for those who are stuck at home and they still want to try new things, get new opportunities, but they kind of feel stuck. So that's cool that you're able to do that. And I mean, kind of tell us about that coming full circle, that journey of becoming a musician, because I read that you originally were like a big tech guy, like you wanted to take up like computer science. How did that transition into you making music?
Well, I think I was into music first. I've been producing on and off since I was about 12 years old. It
Wow.
comes with having siblings. Yeah, so my older siblings would kind of show me like what's cool culture wise, and that would include like new music, like clothing brands and like video games to play. And so my older brother showed me a software called FL Studio, and that's when I was arranging like beats and electronic music, really diving in. And then I had a sister showing me like all these older artists that were also in the dance scene, just kind of breaking out and really evolving everything at that time. But it is weird having it come full circle after all that time. But I think computer science came to the picture in high school. I took a class like my freshman year, and just I thought I liked the idea of like coding something and having it do exactly what you coded. But if that makes sense, like remember
Yeah.
I programmed a script to play the user in rock paper scissors, and the command prompt would ask you to draw rock, paper, or scissors, and then you would type your response. And whatever you typed, it would counter your action to make you lose. And I don't know, that was just a small, like little like pocket thing that I did. But I don't know, I thought that was cool, and I was like, computer science would be cool. But I don't know if it would be for me after all. Um, so I definitely stuck to music rather than going to school for computer science, which is what I ultimately did. I would have gone to Arizona for school, but instead I moved down to California with these four producers and this two-bedroom apartment, which they're all still my friends to this day. Everyone's from Seattle, but yeah, that's kind of where I came from and how I decided what I wanted to do. And since then, it's almost been a year since I moved out of that apartment. But yeah, everyone's still making music. We're still in touch. It's cool.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
And, even if you maybe aren't so much into coding anymore, I think it's cool that you've got like all of these talents, which for a lot of people might seem like kind of opposite, but you're still able to kind of get those interests going. And I think it's great that you're very grounded. You came here with producers from your hometown and you still keep up with them. So
Yeah.
I mean, looking at how much success you've had now, that's incredible. So I do want to backtrack a bit. You did mention earlier your breakout single, ILY, parentheses, I Love You, Baby. And that song last year, I mean, I swear to you, I heard it everywhere. And it was this really kind of mellow, feel good song that just, I think everyone really loved to have in the background or just to kind of vibe to. So tell us about that song. Of course, it is originally a very old song, but how did it go from, the original to what it became when you produced it?
Yeah. Definitely. And it has been very surreal, first off, like hearing that song. Where like back in like 2020, even though quarantine was still in place, like if you were to sneak out of your house for I don't know, any sort of outing and just be on like a speaker, like a random speaker. um, but yeah, that song came about in a weird way where I was still an artist at the time. This was back in my old apartment with all my producer friends.
Right.
I was trying to grow my TikTok, grow my music specifically through TikTok. And so the content I was producing was showing that I made music, and my videos would be like, I'm going to flip this sample into something else. And kind of the video piece was like a process of how I went about doing what I was doing, which it didn't really work out. Like no one really cared. I found out fast. No, seriously, people scroll. Like there's a algorithm now where you just gotta hook attention in like 0.2 seconds, because otherwise it's just like
Right.
a rabbit hole thing. But this one day I came across this artist named Emily, and she was in her room. It was a TikTok, and she was singing the chorus of Can't Take My Eyes Off You by Frankie Valli. And I thought it was amazing. It was like a 10-second little video clip. And that how it was already going viral. And I thought like, wow, this is really cool. I wonder what it would sound like with like drums behind it, with instruments, and like how creative I could get with it. And so that night, the same day, I downloaded the audio from that TikTok and put it in my software, and I started to like produce behind it, to sole purpose of putting it into another TikTok of my own and showing that I remixed this like other popular TikTok. Yeah, so it was just like a sample on TikTok that I remixed, and my roommate was like, dude, you should just make it into a full song instead of making like a TikTok out of a TikTok. You should just make a real song out of it. So we made like 2 drops, I vocal chopped everything, and a part of it was also a challenge of making a full song out of like a 10-second vocal sample and making it sound filled out. So I just like looped the chorus, and I guess the rest is history. In February, it was signed over to Capitol Records, which I still don't believe. And that takes us to now, where yeah, I've been building out what's next.
All right. And that's great of you to say that, because I do want to ask you a little bit about what's next. I do want to say, though, I think it's cool that you, the kind of sort of grounded way it formed, you know, like it was you in your bedroom and this other girl who was also singing in her bedroom. And the way that kind of just blew up is amazing. You know, so there's so much opportunity now in music, and especially online, for a lot of young people who are a little bit different, you know, and are starting very small to grow so big. And I know you have gotten so big on TikTok, and I think you even have some background on SoundCloud. So what do you think kind of the future is looking forward for making music now, when we have all these different platforms to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, obviously, a lot of songs you hear on the radio, there's probably some sort of presence of that same song on TikTok, and that falls like parallel with like some dance or any sort of trend with it, which kind of splits the music industry in like 2 parts. And I think one part of it are these like one songs that kind of go crazy and have some sort of trend, and a lot of times it's like random noises, like remixes and mashups, and just like really intense samples for the sake of a video effect. Like, you ever hear like a TikTok, and the sound of it would have like a vroom, like a big like transitional
Yeah.
noise. It sounds like a plane is going over your head.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that would go viral. It's because people are making videos to it. So I think, again, with the 2 divided parts of like the music industry, is that one side would be all these TikTok sounds, and everything just going crazy that way, and another side are these like real artists. And I think, yeah, I don't know, there's just like real artists that are just working every day and building out music for people to listen to. And I think it's definitely a journey of myself, where I'm on one side of the scene, I'm trying to swim over to the other side. So I think laying low and just working out on putting out honest music is really important for me to go about it. So that's what I'm definitely been really focused on.
Okay, well, I like what you called that there, honest music, you know, and I
Yeah.
like what you said about kind of artists sort of trying to bridge that gap or go over to the other side, and it's been very successful for you. So congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing your story here with us today and your journey. We do have to head out a little bit, but before we do go, just how about just a really quick message to all of your Filipino fans who are loving your music and playing it all the time, and of course, we'd love to see you come visit someday when it's safe.
Of course. Well, thank you guys so much. I love all the fans coming out of the Philippines. And my name's Surf Mesa, and I'm so excited to be here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. You guys, of course, Surf Mesa's song Carried Away with Madison Beer has been playing nonstop at Magic 89.9, but please feel free to vote for it, request for it if you would like to hear it some more. Thank you so much once again for joining us today. My name is Ashley, and this has been today's best music. We're Magic 89.9, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.